I don't think it's too late for anybody. It's obviously more difficult because there's a couple of guys that have been in squads, haven't had the chance to play for us. But yeah, we'll still be monitoring everybody between now and the end of the season because there's probably a squad of, I said the other day, 31, 32 players that will be in contention, and none of us know what's going to happen over the next 8 to 10 weeks. Well, we've got to assess that with every player. There's there's players that have niggles. There's players that haven't played as many minutes this year as others. So the balance of the squad we've got to get right. I think it's the most important thing is that if people are in the squad, they're physically able to play at the level that allows them to show their ability, and that's the thing that's most important from my perspective. Yeah, I've no reason to believe that he wouldn't be back for their next game. Sort of ongoing issue that he has to manage, and it wasn't going to be ready for tomorrow for us, but I'm pretty certain he'll be back for Arsenal's next game.
Raheem, you're only 23, but you're one of the most experienced members of this squad. Do you feel like an established England player now?
Yeah, I feel established, but every time I come away, as you said, I'm still young, I'm still learning, and coming away with Gareth and the boys, I'm always trying to develop. So at the same time, being established and always trying to develop at the same time.
And how much do you feel you've improved working under Pep Guardiola, and how much do you think that's benefited England?
It hasn't benefited England at all yet because I haven't really got to the level I want to get to, and with the manager I've got at City, he's been a massive help for me, massive boost, and it's the same when I come away with England as well. Gareth's always trying to help us, the strikers, doing drills and finishing drills as well to get us better and improving each time we come here. But with the City aspect and Pep, he's been fantastic with me.
Well, I don't know exactly when he'll be back, but he was very confident that would be sooner rather than later. He's his professionalism and his mindset is very positive. So, but exact timescales you'd have to speak with the medical team at Spurs, really.
How encouraging was it to see him in training kit and so without that leg brace?
Yeah, I mean. They're pretty much in training kit every day at training. So, as I say, I would imagine he'll be back fairly quickly. He like all of these lads now, their mentality and their approach to getting back playing football. None of them want to miss games. They've all got big matches coming up. They all want to be involved in those big games, play a part for their club, be available for the summer. So they get good medical treatment, but also they're very disciplined in how they recover, and that gives them every chance of getting back as quickly as possible.
He's obviously not available to be the captain tomorrow night. Do you know who will be the captain? Will it still be Jordan?
I've got to finalise my team first. There's a couple of things I want to think about before I do that, and I've mentioned to you earlier in the week that Jack Butland will play in goal, but other than that, everything else I've got to just think through one or two things tonight.
What's the thinking behind Jack playing in goal tomorrow night? Because Jordan Pickford didn't seem to have done anything wrong at all.
No, he didn't. That's right. But at the beginning of the week, we'd decided that's what we were going to do, give them both the game for the experience. We've stuck with the plan right the way through on those decisions, and there's no reason to come away from that.
Is it a straight fight now between Jordan and Jack?
I think, again, in lots of positions on the field, we've got really good options and players that we know would go into the team and do well for us. So they're tough decisions to make further down the line. But there's a lot to play for, and it's important we have competition for places everywhere on the pitch. I think that is one of the things that breeds good performance. There's what we work on in training and a clear understanding of how we want to play. But then there's the little bit of additional pressure of knowing that you've got to play well to retain your place, and I think that takes players to another level.
Do you feel a bit sorry for Joe Hart because the way he lost his place at West Ham, it was a new manager came in and they were playing against Manchester City and he couldn't play against City. He doesn't really seem to have done that much wrong this season, but he's out of the picture at club and international level. Must be quite hard for him to take.
Well, I think the circumstance was difficult. The team are now had got more solid just after he went out of the side, really, with David coming in and working as he does. So that is football, isn't it? You have to take your opportunities. Joe's professionalism's been brilliant with us. He's always performed well for us. We had the best defensive record in Europe in qualifying. We've continued to defend well. He's been a big part of that. And this week, even though he knew he wasn't going to be playing in the games, he's been a fantastic influence with the rest of the players and the rest of the goalkeepers especially.
Do you think he'll get a chance to play the game before the World Cup?
With his club?
No, with England.
I can't predict that. That's obviously there's 7 or 8 more matches with the clubs, and it's up to the goalkeepers to perform well, and we'll take decisions from there.
Jamie Vardy on Friday night, he came on as a substitute. I think he had 1 touch in 22 minutes. Do you think he'll be more involved tomorrow night? Is he likely to start?
I suppose it'd be hard to be less involved than that, really, wouldn't it? No, I think that that tells you a little bit about a period of the game that we had where we didn't use the ball as well, and he was positionally without the ball in good positions, but we turned the ball over a little bit towards the end of the game, and there's a reason that he didn't have a touch. So that's not just down to him. That's clearly a function of what we did as a team. So there's always room for improvement for us, and that's why we're constantly looking at the games and seeing what we can take from them. So many positives from the way the boys played the other night. Really, a lot of very good things, and as always, there's things we can get better at.
On Italy, they don't have a full-time manager at the moment. They don't have a president of their federation. They're not in the World Cup. Is it sad to see a football within a country as big as Italy in the state that they're in at the moment?
I'm not so sure they're in as much of a state as people would say. They were not at the World Cup because they were in Spain's group, really. Okay, they didn't quite get the playoff game right, but they've got some good players, and they're a proud footballing nation. They won't come to Wembley and roll over, that's for certain. So, there's some changes because that's the consequence of not qualifying. Everybody knows that. But they've got good players. The coach that's in charge, I've coached against him before. He always organises his team well. Their detail, Italian team's detail is always good. So we'll be in for a really good test tomorrow. They'll press us with more intensity than we got pressed the other night, which is a really good challenge for us to be able to play.
Ian Dennis?
Gareth, I'd imagine this is the last squad before you announce your final 23. The players are all desperate to get involved. Have you ever thought of a scenario for those who don't figure tomorrow, how you manage that scenario if they don't get a chance to impress you? Because there's 7 players who didn't feature the other night.
Yeah, I mean, we'll make some changes tomorrow, but some of these guys, it's important that we see them in the games. Some we've brought in to still feel part of the group, and to some of them have a look at them for the first time and how they might train with us and get the experience of that, because we're not just looking at the summer, we've got to look beyond the summer as well. So we're trying to build on what we've done in the last 3 matches and build on what was a healthy performance the other night. So there's so many different things that you're looking to get from the games, and on Friday we managed to achieve pretty much all of those things. So it'd be great if we can do that again tomorrow.
And since you switched to the 3 at the back, the first game it was Lithuania, I would imagine you've had very little training time to work on that. Yet 5 successive clean sheets. So how pleased are you with the defensive side of things?
Yeah, that's pleasing, because that's the start point for getting results. But what's more pleasing was that the way the players are starting to adapt to the system. I thought we with the ball we were more fluent the other day. We showed more freedom. We want the players to be able to express themselves, and I think that system allows them to do that. So the more we work at it, the more fluid we'll become, and the partnerships on the pitch and the runs that we're expecting of each other. And there was really good signs of that on Friday.
And finally, from me, when you first took over, you made a deliberate effort to lower the expectations, play it all down. Yeah, ahead of the game in Holland, in Amsterdam, you said we might surprise a few. So have you changed, or how would you gauge the progress that England have made under you?
I don't think I've changed. I think that what we've got to do is allow this young team to go and perform. There's some super exciting young players, and the reason that there's been a disconnect with the team is not because of what they've done, it's because of what teams I played in did and historic stuff. We've got to give them the freedom to grow and improve and learn together. They don't have 50, 100 caps. As you said, Raheem's one of the most experienced players, so there's still years ahead of them yet, and they can grow as a group and get better and better. So we've got to give them some space to do that. I know people don't necessarily want to do that, especially in an international environment, and that's not me as a coach trying to buy time. It's not about me. But for these guys to go and perform, as I believe they can, and I think maybe go beyond where we're currently ranked in the tournament, then that is what I feel we should be allowing them to do.